Have you ever reached the point where you no longer wanted to explain, fight, or try to fix anything? You just sat there and realized it's over. That's the truth of the Ten of Swords. I don't appear when a relationship is simply difficult. I appear when the story has reached its end, the conversation has happened, trust has been broken, the betrayal has been exposed, hope has burned out, or one day it simply became clear that the two of you could no longer continue the way you used to. And the hardest part isn't the dramatic ending, it's the emptiness that follows. It feels like everything you were holding on to has already collapsed, yet you're still standing there, not knowing where to go next. People fear me because I represent the final breakup, betrayal, shattered expectations, and the moment when the future you imagined no longer exists. But that's also my first truth. If everything has already fallen apart, then there's no reason to keep holding up something that was already collapsing. My light side puts a full stop where someone has been living in an endless sentence for far too long. You no longer have to wait for the message that will fix everything. You no longer have to invent reasons why the pain is still worth enduring. You no longer have to keep repeating the same cycle. Hope, disappointment, hope again, pain again. I represent the final stage of the crisis. There is nowhere lower to fall, and that's exactly why the sunrise comes next. Not a magical sunrise, not an instant one, a real one. The moment when someone finally stops fighting for something that has already ended. With me comes acceptance of what cannot be changed. The past begins to let go, not because it suddenly became unimportant, but because it's no longer possible to keep living inside it. Old patterns break apart. Old beliefs about love come to an end. And yes, it feels like a complete reset, not of the relationship, but of the person who survived it. But if someone gets trapped in my shadow, the ending stops being freedom and becomes a prison. They feel completely empty, as if there's nothing left inside. They begin to believe they'll never trust again, that love always ends in pain, that all the good things are already behind them. Their self-worth collapses together with the relationship. They start believing something is wrong with them, that they ruined everything, chose the wrong person, stayed too long, or realized the truth too late. Then comes self-punishment, not always through words, sometimes simply by refusing to truly live again. They return to the past over and over, idealizing what once hurt them, replaying every scene, trying to rewrite an ending that cannot be changed. That's when pain stops being an event and becomes the place where they live. And the longer they stay there, the more impossible it seems to ever find a way out. There's one more important thing about me. In rare cases, the Ten of Swords can also point to physical death, but only in a very specific context, and only when supported by other cards and the surrounding situation. Never on its own, and never as a rushed conclusion. In love readings, I usually speak about the death of the relationship as it once existed, the end of trust, the end of hope, the end of a story that can never return to what it was. But I don't appear to destroy you. I appear to bring something to its rightful end. I take away the final what if, the final maybe, the final attempt to revive something that is no longer alive, and that's where my light begins. After me, there's nowhere left to fall. The only direction left is up. So my question is always the same. Are you still holding on to something that has already ended? Or are you finally ready to admit that this ending is making room for the life that's been waiting for its chance to begin? I am the Ten of Swords. I'm not here to tell you that you've been destroyed. I'm here to tell you that the destruction is finally over, and it's time to get up and move forward.